I am. You're not chicken?
Besides your chicken.
Well, I hope to go through the ranks, Naturally, I'd like to, first ambition would be promoted to sergeant, and that takes time and hard work and study, and I'm doing that and going to college and Sam Houston. And the education is a big part of our police department now, and a growing part. And there's no longer a dumb cop on Dallas Police Department, so I'd like to get my education and then go through the ranks. It's my desire to do that. To be a good policeman, you have to be a part doctor, a part psychologist. You have to be aware of if you have your beats, you have to be aware of the problems on your beat and the people on your beat, and not so much get involved with them, but you have to be aware of the problems.
What if every police officer in the city of Dallas went on a strike for 24 hours? What would this city be like in 24 hours? How many robberies and rapes and murders and everything would we have in one 24-hour period?
I don't feel like myself as an individual is that important, but I feel like it's a overall mess. I would hate to see society without the police.
I think that police officers in their social life have to more or less stick together because of their hours that they work, their mutual problems, which their salaries are the same, so they're going to live close to the same. They're going to be on about the same educational level, and so most of the time officers stick pretty much together on duty and off duty both.
Do you think that's good?
Yes, I do, because we have more in common. It's almost like having a brother. If you deal with officers, your fellow officers on and off duty both. It's just nearly like having a brother.
Yeah.
We enjoy playing games and letting our kids go to the back and have at it. And just sit around and talk, and socialize.
Do you talk about police problems?
Well, he has a certain friend. We have a couple that are real close to us, and they do get pretty involved in their conversations to where it does involve police work.
It starts out maybe talking about a fishing trip or something, but it always comes back to maybe a problem he had, or maybe I helped him out in some way, or vice versa. We start telling more stories again.
You'll find that all the officers down here have about the same personality, really. We're like a big bunch of brothers, You've got to be compatible in this job, because you got to be close. You got to watch your fellow officers' backside at all times.
Each individual's got his own rights, but a lot of these people are taking their rights to the bitter extreme, where they're infringing on everybody else's rights also.
That started from higher up, though. People, in my opinion, are going to have to wake up to the fact that the everyday person has rights too. And right now, it seems like the rights are pointed at either a minority group or a convicted person. I don't believe you ought to abuse anybody's rights, but I do believe that police have some rights too.
Watch out. And now, this day and time, when I first came out here, I worked West Dallas. And I'd run through any project out there, in any street, by myself, and never think anything about it. Hey, baby, I ain't going to do it today.
Like it is right now, I think I'm going to start carrying me a machine gun to work with me.
Sometimes you can't talk them into doing what's right, and occasionally you have to just force them into doing what's right.
And I've got hurt a few times on this department. If you're not afraid in this job, friend, you're going to get hurt.
I try to block my mind off, with the kids and the housework and having to shop and all that. But once in a while it hits me, and I wonder, well, how is he doing? Or he hadn't called yet and something must have happened, and that's when I get worried.
As an individual, you answer calls, and I've had it put to me by different people. Maybe it's a loud party, disturbance, and you get the call to go ask them to quieten down, so you do, and they may approach you and say they have me, well, you're just a cop, you don't have a good, you don't know how to have a good time, you're not a person, and
Most people don't realize, what you do put up with. most guys that I'm associated with are sort of like, from the old school, where the police, boy, you didn't mess with him. Well, that's a thing of the past now. There's no law that says, you can't call me a pig or, a whole lot of things.
It seems like the only time they want us around is when they're in need of police service, They,
525 and signal 7.
it's just like some people, they don't like you to park your squad car in front of their house.
Let's see.
Say, move that car, this is bad. Now, why should it be bad? I don't understand that. Or how about coming through my back door, like a foreigner or something like that. They look at us as we're degrading their neighborhood or something. I don't understand that.
We do have feelings, and when they get out here and they start cussing us and one thing then another, that it does take a lot of restraint. And occasionally, we just take more than what we think we should. And let's face it, we're just human, like I say, and occasionally somebody will break down. And it'll all be understood a little bit. But at the same time, I'm not saying, that you should have a police state or anything like that. What I am saying is that the public ought to realize the type situations we get into, and we don't like the idea of having to go out here and answer some of these calls, and people talk to us like an illegitimate stepchild.
At the Democratic convention, say, when they start throwing manure, human manure, and things of this nature, how much are we expected, to take? I'll tell you what, I don't want to be in a position to somebody throwing that stuff on me.
In this job, you've got to learn self-restraint in everything that you do. You can't take offense to anything that somebody's going to say to you. Because I've been called a son of a bitch I don't know how many times, and much worse. And I've been spit on, hit at, kicked down, run over, and everything else. And you've got to learn to use restraint.
I don't know. You get sort of discouraged sometimes. People knocking you all the time. But this is part of it, and if I still know that the silent majority is majority, really. Like I just think for myself, if they don't like the police, let them call a hippie.